threw that play there to Will?
Yeah, that wasn't planned. We actually were trying to get that to Marquise. Their defense played a good job of staying on top of him. A guy slipped through there. I was able to, get away from him, and then, really was just playing with my eyes up, maybe get a chance to scramble, and Will popped and made a great catch, went down and scored. Got it started for us. That was awesome.
How important was it to start that way with the momentum, the crowd, everything was in your favor to start the game,
So important. The league, NFL, you never know when the momentum's going to shift. But anytime you're at home, anytime, you want to start out that first drive, you want to go down there and score. And, especially if you get the ball first, because, statistics say that if you don't, wins aren't in your favor. So just going down there and getting the crowd excited, getting the score, getting the momentum, having our defense with a 7-point lead, all of those things, I think, just in a culmination were great. I felt like all those things helped out towards the end of the game as well with the momentum in the crowd.
To ESPN after the game, you said they wrote you off, but you didn't write back. What does that mean, and what did this game mean to you in your career with everything you've been through?
Yeah, I think when people say what I've been through, I think that's a stretch, man. I'm in the NFL for 10 years. So, to say what I've been through is it's kind of funny. And then to say, people wrote me off. I just been working. That's what it means by I never wrote back. I don't listen to stuff like that. I just work. I know what I have inside of me. God's blessed me with talent and also a passion and a drive. And so as far as worrying about naysayers, anything like that, I don't get into that type of stuff. People can write you off, but, life's about what you make it. And so I've just been blessed enough to be in the NFL for 10 years and been working my butt off. And it's a team game, and we got to win tonight as a team.
What did it mean hearing the fans chant your name after the touchdown, end of the game, the long run you had, just hearing that?
Yeah, it just brings me back. I think it's something with those lime green jerseys. It just brings me back to that, that game last year. And the fans were great tonight. They were loud. I think they caused, maybe a few penalties on them, a couple delay of games, a couple false starts. So that's what we're going to need all year. We're going to need our fans to be with us, and we got to give them something to cheer for. So I think tonight was just electric, and just to see how it ended up, it was great.
He's been talking up the tight end group all of training camp and preseason. How important was it for them to step up tonight, given the talent on this defense for them, particularly their secondary?
Yeah, one of our matchups was our tight ends on their linebackers and safeties. And so, you never know who's going to make the play. That's the interesting thing about offensive football in the NFL. It could be a tight ends, running backs, receivers. And tonight the tight ends stepped up, but the receivers played great. Running backs were in the passing game as well. I think everyone contributed to this win. And, when you talk about our tight ends, man, I don't think there's a better group in the league.
Pete's talked about the quarterback position as kind of a point guard and distributor, and that doesn't eliminate big plays because you get them. Mm-hmm. But what does that mean to you, and how much have you and he talked about that philosophy and how you bring it onto the field?
For me, when he says that, it just means to facilitate, I think us as quarterbacks, our QB room, we have some scoring point guards. We can go score the ball as well. But when you got DK and Tyler and the tight end group that we have, the running backs that we have, Marquise, D. Eskridge, all those guys, man, Derek, you just put the ball in their hands and watch the magic happen. And so, for me, early on, my thought process was get the ball out of my hands, get into the hands of the playmakers, protect our young tackles, as well as just get the chains moving. And I think that helped us out.
Last Denver drive, what was that like for you watching on the sideline, how all that played out?
Oh, man, it felt like, one of our walkthroughs at practice, me just watching Russ do that. And, for so long I watched Russ go down, even here, just go down and win those games. And, it was a surreal moment, seeing him on the other side up against our defense, going for one of his vintage, comeback wins. And we stood up tonight, and I was happy about that.
He said he was mad at you for taking that hit on the 14-yard run. What's the balance like there where you're trying to make a play, but, you probably should take care of yourself too?
I know. Most of the time I don't put my head in there, but, I was just so zoned in, so locked in, just playing to win. And, that was a crucial, situation. We needed that first down in a backed up situation. So I was just trying to go for it. But, I definitely will try to stay away from that type of stuff.
How about the design run, 3rd and 2?
That was sweet. That was sweet. People forget I can run. So, it was sweet to just have that added dimension there. And, the over-under on that play was for 5 yards. So I think I might have, was under on that one. But it was a great play call. Shane did a great job all night at calling terrific plays, kept me in rhythm, and, that one was pretty good.
Geno, speaking of being zoned in, locked in, you completed your first 13 passes. Right? I think that's right. counted. Can you just talk about how you just came focused in early on throughout the game?
That's something that, I think it's happened maybe, once or twice. But, honestly, I'm just trying to complete every pass. You call it pass play. You try and find a completion out there. And what they were doing was playing, top down and shell defense. So, I had to dump the ball off a couple times, which contributed to that. Weren't taking many shots. But anytime you can get a completion, it puts pressure on the defense to tackle. And so, it was good to start out that way. And, wish we would have continued it.
Looked like you and Russell talked real quick maybe before the game a little bit. Did he say anything, or you say anything to him? Or?
Yeah, just a lot of love, man. I got a lot of respect and love for Russell. Being here with him for 3 years, I learned a lot. Got to know him really well. Got to understand why he is the man that he is, the way that he is, and what makes him special. And Russell will always be my brother. I love him to death, and, I just wish him the best.
What was it like seeing Marshawn and Sherm and all those guys there tonight?
And it was like a reunion, like a Seahawks reunion out there. And, Marshawn and those guys are always around. Sherm comes out to practice. He helps out with the DBs. And I think that's the special part about this place is that you have, guys like that coming back. And they really feel like this is a family, like this is a place that they can always come back to. Coach does a great job at that. The organization is special in that way. And I think that whenever those guys are around, it just, brings good mojo.
Sydney Rocher off the end right back. How long you been sitting on that?
That's off the dome right there. That's straight bars off the dome right there. That was just in the spur of the moment.
That second touchdown where you feathered it over the linebacker, was that your first read, or what was the overall design of the play and how you went there?
Yeah, he was the read. We had a couple, I'm not going to tell you all the plays, but he was in the read. And, the way they played it, the safety ended up vacating the post. And then the linebacker had to, basically carry the seam. And, there was really no one back there. So I had a good spot back there that I could find with him. And Kobe's a 6'7" tight end, so you really can't miss him if you put it high.
Geno, the offense was humming pretty well in the first half, but seems to dry up a little bit in the second. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, we got to be better in the second half. That's all I was thinking about, honestly. It's like, I felt like in the second half, obviously their defense, give credit to their defense, they stood up and played well. But we got to finish games better. It was great to get a win. Our defense went out there and did what they had to do. But we could have put up more points and, given ourselves even more cushion to have a better shot in that game.
What do you think this win says about what the 2022 Seahawks can do this year?
It's one win. It's one win. We can celebrate it tonight. We got a short week. We got to get ready for a division opponent in San Fran. And, we're happy. We feel like we can win a lot of games if we play like that, complete team football. But for me, it's just one win. It's just one game, and we got to be ready for 16 more.
We asked Pete Carroll if this was a validating feeling. Do you feel validated?
Not at all. Not at all. I've always, not that I don't feel validated. I've always felt validated. So this win won't do it for me. And so it was just another win, great win with the team. And, I love the way our guys stood up. I love the passion we play with, and we just got to keep that going.
Thank you, Geno.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Man, outside of Denver, you got to be feeling good for that guy. The joy on his face and in his voice as Geno Smith gets one over on his former starting quarterback. Played the backup role, as you heard, for 3 years, spending time in Seattle alongside Russ. And here's a look at the winning tickets that have followed him as a starter since last season, 4-0 against the number. And if you want to broaden that scope all the way back to 2014, he's 5-4 in his last 9 starts, 9-0 against the number.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.